A very good day to Dr. Siti Mahfuza and my fellow friends. Now, let me introduce my group member first. My name is Lai Wendy with matrix number 278549 and my teammate is Chong with matrix number 277850. Today, we will present about our project planning. So basically, our project is about to develop a gaming application on exercise for curriculum pendidikan pemandu KPP Malaysia. Our brand name for this game-based learning application is Touchpoint Root EDU. So now let me start from the introduction of the project. As we know, road traffic accidents have been and will always be one of the most serious threats to our life. According to Anthony Lim 2022, statistics released by the Police Diraja Malaysia (PDRM) show that 42,626 road accidents happened in Malaysia from January to September of this year, resulting in 4,378 fatalities. The total number of road traffic incidents, which is continuously rising year by year, is extremely concerning. As the result of this case, previous research pointed out that in order to decrease crash rates, wheel drivers should get as much hands-on experience as they can behind the wheel in real environment. And we have found out our project client, Mustika Muhiba Sendirian Berhad, who wish to help the agency improve the effectiveness of teaching and learning. And this project will come in handy to provide a more interesting and interactive education way for the candidates to learn from the agency. According to Sustainable Development Goal for Quality Education, Target 4.7 is the education for sustainable development and global citizenship. The goal is to ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and the skills needed to promote sustainable development. And passing the KPP test is one of them, as transportation plays quite a role in developing industry. Next, we move to the problem statement of this project. According to product research on Google Application Store, various KPP test exercise applications exist on the market. For instance, there are KPP Test 2022, KPP Test Malaysia 2022, Hujan KPP, and many more. Driving learners can download the application anywhere and anytime via the smartphone or tablets to practice for the KPP test. However, most of the KPP test applications in the market are in system form and do not fulfill serious game specification. Users can use those applications to do practice for KPP tests, but they are dull and conservatively following the basic design of KPP tests. Most of the application only contain plain backgrounds, duly designed text, and blocks of options in multiple choice question forms. This can be hard for spatial or visual and kinesthetic learners. Therefore, in response to this problem, this project proposed to develop a game-based learning application that helps to achieve effective learning in Sustainable Development Goal 4. Hence, this project aims to improve the ways of learning for the KPP test by introducing the serious gaming application. By having this game-based learning application, it can help to improve the teaching and learning process of the KPP test for candidates from Mustika Muhiba Sendirian Berhad.
A very good day, everyone. My name is Chong, matrix number 277850. So now I'm going to continue the presentation on the objective of our project. So there are a total of 3 objectives in our project. The first is to obtain the requirements of the project client, where our client is Mustika Muhiba Sendirian Berhad, on solving their current issues in road education. The second objective is to develop a game application on exercise for curriculum pendidikan pemandu, which is KPP Malaysia, to help the project client achieve effective teaching and learning, as well as improve the pass rates in the KPP test. The third objective is to develop a prototype for a gaming application on exercise for curriculum pendidikan pemandu Malaysia to contribute to effective learning in sustainable development goal, which is SDG Goal 4, which is quality education. Moving on, let's look at the scope of the project. So firstly, we're going to look at the targeted users for this project, which are the candidates who will be sitting for curriculum pendidikan pemandu KPP test in Malaysia. So there are 2 types of targeted candidates, which are candidates who will be taking the test for the first time and candidates who have failed KPP test before and will be retaking the test. All candidates will be obtained from our client's agency. Now, next we'll look at the content of our project. So the project is about a fun learning game on exercise on questions in KPP test. So it will contain a series of related questions to KPP test so that the users can do practice on them. Now, the game will be a simulation game so that the users can be more immersed and interactive with the game. And the user will be in first person point of view, so that they can feel like they are sitting in the car. They have a point of view that the car is on the road so that they can learn more about the driving education. The game contains multiple levels, which users can repeat each level until they are familiar with all the questions in each level. So this provides the opportunity for users to actually keep practicing until they are familiar with most of the questions that will be coming out or related to the KPP test. And after finishing each level, there will be a final score shown to the user so that the user can know that how many questions that they got correct in each levels. As for the geographical location of the project will be carried out mostly in Sintok Kedah. This is because our client, Mustika Muhibah Sendirian Berhad, is located in Sintok Kedah as well, and us as UM students, most of the time we will be staying in Sintok Kedah. So the geographical location of our project will be located in Sintok Kedah. Next is the restrictions of the project. So the game is designed only for Android and Windows user, which means that it does not support iOS users. If iOS users wanted to play them, they have to download through Android or Windows. Next, the game will be developed only focusing on fun education purpose. So if users are looking for thrilling car racing games that does not contain education purpose, this is not the game for them. Thirdly, the game will be developed using the Unity application, which mainly focuses on 3D game engines. So the game will mainly focuses on 3D and 2D animations. Other dimensions game engines will not be used. Lastly, the game will only be in two languages, which is Bahasa Melayu and English. This is because since we are focusing on KPP test in Malaysia, we try to follow the system which only have two languages, Bahasa Melayu and English, so other languages will not be included into the game. Now let's look at the methodology of the project. We will be using Agile software development lifecycle. This is because Agile contains the most basic methods that are needed for a simple software development. And on top of that, due to the short duration that we have, which is just a couple of months to develop an entire gaming application, Agile provides a more flexible method for the developers to carry out a software development. For example, Agile does not require a lot of pre-planning before actually starting to develop a project, and it also provides a benefits that the developers can constantly communicate with their clients so that the project can be developed in a more detailed manner. There are a total of 6 phases in our methodology. So the first phase is requirement gathering and analysis. An interview will be conducted between our team and the client to understand the requirements that the clients needed for the project. So after the interview, a list of requirements will be the output for phase 1, where we analyze all the requirements stated by the client. Now moving on to phase 2, which is design the requirements. So we will work on designing a framework or having a basic idea, an overall idea of the gaming application based on the list of requirements given by the client. And then we will move on to phase 3, which is construction and iteration. So we will construct an entire low fidelity interface design for the game application, and we will show the low fidelity interface design to our client to make sure that all requirements are met. And after that, we will move forward to construct a high fidelity interface design, and then we will show it to our client again. Moving on to phase 4, which is the deployment process. So we will develop the actual game application during this process, which is the touchpoint.edu, the title of our gaming application. And after we have developed the entire gaming application, we will move on to phase 5, which is testing. So we will test the entire gaming application on ourselves to make sure there is no logical error, there is no coding error, and we will also test the game on the KPP candidates, the KPP test candidates from the client's agency. So after that, we will get feedbacks from both the clients and the tested users, which are the candidates, to improve the entire project from various aspects. Now, the table that we're looking at here is part of our implementation schedule. So we will start off at week 1 and week 2, which we decide the project title and approach supervisors. So after we have confirmed who our supervisors are, we will submit the supervisors agreement form during week 2 and week 3. So after that, we will start to search and contact for our project clients during week 3. And after contacting a couple of project clients, we will be deciding on the project clients during week 3 and week 4. So for the preparation of the project planning, we will begin at week 2 until week 5, and we will submit the project planning to our supervisors from week 4 to week 6, which we will submit a couple of times since there will be multiple times of modification according to our supervisors' recommendations. So during week 7, we will be presenting the project planning in class. So after completing the project planning, from week 5 to week 8, we will work on our literature review, which is also part of the project proposal. So we will also modify the entire project proposal from week 5 to week 8. And as for week 6 to week 8, we will start to prepare our user requirement study, where we will conduct interviews with our clients and also construct meeting logs between our team and our supervisor. So from week 7 to week 8, we will conduct user requirement study, and during week 9, we will submit the requirement analysis report. Moving on, after completing the requirement analysis report, from week 9 to week 10, we will start to prepare the design solutions and have meetings on it. During week 11, we will submit the project design solutions. So starting from week 11 to week 12, we will start to work on the project prototype, where we construct a low fidelity prototype and have meetings on the project prototype. And during week 12, we will present the low fidelity prototype to our client. So after we show the low fidelity prototype to our client, during week 13, we will modify the low fidelity prototype based on the suggestions of our client. So during around week 14, we will submit the low fidelity prototype in class. And after that, starting from week 15 to week 16, we will start to work on our high fidelity design of our project. During week 17, we will present the high fidelity prototype to our client, and we will also modify the high fidelity prototype during week 17 according to our client's suggestions. Starting from week 18 to week 23, we will start to work on the actual product of our project, which is the actual gaming applications. And for week 24, it will be the beginning of project 2. And that will be all for implementation schedule.
In conclusion, the three main objectives of the project are to obtain the requirements of the project client, pastikan muhibah sendirian berhad on solving their current issues in road education. The second objective is to design a gaming application on exercise for KPP Malaysia to help the project client achieve effective teaching and learning, as well as improve pass rates in KPP tests. The last objective is to developing a prototype for gaming application on exercise for KPP Malaysia to contribute to effective learning in Sustainable Development Goal 4. And the project's goal is to fulfill all the objectives by the end of the project. Besides that, to develop the project, the methodology we will use is the Agile software development lifecycle. And moving to the contribution of the project in terms of the client, the project will help the client to improve their teaching and learning process in KPP tests, and the project can also help the client to improve the pass rate in the KPP test. In terms of contribution to society, the project can help users achieve effective learning on driving education, which hopefully contribute to decrease in traffic accidents. And lastly, in terms of developers, the team will get to learn the full process of developing a software based on a specific client and the requirements within a limited period of time and budget. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.